Welcome in, everybody. We are going to be trying to today predict the top and the bottom of every college football conference in the FBS level, obviously. So, we're going to be predicting who I think is going to be the champions of the conferences and the worst team in the conferences. We're going to do this in order on how I think they're going to overall finish during the year. Like, the first conference I talk about, which will be the Sunbelt, because I do not have much faith in the Sunbelt, will be, in my opinion, the weakest conference champion and has the least likelihood to take that group of six playoff spot. So let's get right into it with the Sunbelt. I think the champion's going to be Southern Mississippi. And here's why. Because last year, Marshall won the conference, and guess what? Southern Mississippi took their coach and 95% of their players. So I think that will help Southern Mississippi to go from the bottom to the top. But the other way is going to happen to Marshall. I think Marshall will be the worst team. They lost basically their entire team, which evidently led to them struggling all year last year. So I don't see them recovering from that issue. Next up, we're going to be talking about Conference USA. I think Conference USA has a chance to be really good with Liberty in particular, but I don't even have Liberty winning the conference. I think Western Kentucky, they are a very solid team. They are not a great team. They are not a playoff contending team, but I think that Western Kentucky can win this division. They're a little more consistent than Liberty is, let's be honest. And I think, honestly, the bottom is pretty easy here. It's going to be Missouri State. I mean, they're the new team. I kind of looked at their schedules. I think that Delaware can kind of almost win possibly up to 6 games. I think there's 6 games winnable in Delaware. I don't see that with Missouri State. I think Missouri State will be the worst team in Conference USA. Following that up, we got the MAC. Everybody loves some action. MAC is going to be a solid conference. There's going to be a couple teams like Buffalo and Toledo and Miami of Ohio near the top. I have Buffalo winning the conference this year. I feel like they're going to be sneakily good. Like, Toledo is the front runners in my opinion, but I think Buffalo will shock them and win it. I don't think it gets them in the playoffs, obviously, because I have 2 group of 5s ahead of them or a group of 6. I'm not going to do the Pac-12 because obviously. But I do think Buffalo wins this. And I think Akron will probably be the bottom. It's Akron or Kent State, let's be honest. I think Kent State might take a little bit of a step forward. I think Akron will take up that bottom for us. Moving on, I have the Mountain West. Yes, I do not have Boise State getting back into the playoffs, as they are not going to be the group of 6 team getting in. I have the American team that I have winning getting in over them. I also don't even have Boise State winning the Mountain West. I have UNLV. I think losing Ginty is going to be enough to take UNLV and push them past Boise State. It won't be enough to get them in the playoffs, but I think it will evidently help them out get past, Boise State's dominance. Boise State might still be a really good team, but I think UNLV is a solid team as well. I don't know who would be the bottom of this conference, really. I'm just going to say Wyoming. They were bad last year. Probably aren't going to be great this year. I think Wyoming will fill in that bottom, starting with the final and the playoff team of the Power 6. I got Tulane winning the American. I think Tulane was really good last year. I think they'll be slightly better this year, and I think they will be better than Boise or UNLV in this case. To slip in that power conference, they might be like ranked 20th or something, but they are going to win their conference by the end of it, and I think they get in. The bottom in the American is going to be Rice. Rice is just bad. I mean, they're in Texas. There's so many good schools in Texas. It's hard for Rice to bring that in. They're an academic school. They're just going to be bad. Yeah, I don't have much faith in Rice. So we're getting into the Power 4 conferences. So I think the Big 12 is going to be the worst conference between the Big 4s. I think Arizona State has a chance to repeat, but I think I'm going to go with Kansas State. Kansas State probably should have won it last year. They struggled a little bit, but I think they're going to be much better this year, and I think they're going to make that push. And they're going to be there. I mean, the Big 12 is a coin toss, and nobody had Arizona State winning it last year. To be honest, it could honor. This conference is also pretty hard to throw out there. I think it's going to be Utah. Utah just, they kind of fell off last year. Be off really good. Cam Rising, obviously, then that turned into, Cam Rising shit. Yeah, I think Utah will fall off, and I think evidently will be the worst team in the Big 12. Next up, we're going to talk about the ACC. Clemson wins it. I mean, I know I've been hearing a lot that Georgia Tech might be the sneaky team. Clemson's just they're a top 4 team right now in the polls. They're going to win it. Let's be honest. I don't see anybody else taking over and beating Clemson. The bottom of the ACC will probably be one of the two Virginias. Let's be honest. The Virginias are not very good. I think they'll cover the bottom. It's either going to be them or it could be like, a Wake Forest or actually Stanford. I think Stanford will be the bottom. Stanford has a very good chance of being the bottom. I always forget they're in there because they don't belong in the Atlantic Coast Conference, but whatever. Stanford will be the bottom. They're not very good. They're, again, academics. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the second best conference in college football. We're talking about the Big Ten. I think Penn State finally breaks through and wins the championship, the conference championship, obviously not the national championship. Although they have a good shot, in my opinion. I think Drew Adler having another year, and Penn State getting kind of close last year to breaking through. I think Penn State finally breaks through and wins the Big Ten. After that, I think the bottom is going to be Maryland, to be honest. I don't know much about this Maryland team. I live near Maryland, and I mean, I'm an Orioles and Ravens fan, and I don't have much hope in this Maryland team. I think they're going to be pretty bad, to be honest. Obviously, Purdue could still be the bottom feeder. They were 1-11 last year. Not very good, but I think Purdue might improve a little bit. I think Maryland's going to suck. Moving on to the SEC, the best conference in college football. I think Texas is going to evidently win the conference. I thought they were going to win last year. I got burnt, whatever. I think they're going to be able to do it this year. I think they're going to break through. Oz, the bottom, I mean, it's pretty easy. Mississippi State is just bad still. Maybe Vandy falls off again, but I think Vandy's going to be sneaky good this year. I think Mississippi State continues being the bottom feeder of the SEC. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you enjoy this type of content with football season and college football season starting up and soon basketball, I'm going to be pumping out content a lot more than I was. I hope I see you guys in the next one.